Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Hey guys, what is up? Jason Flego here, getting ready to go live on Clubhouse. Actually, going to be leading a room talking about business networking for authentic entrepreneurs. So let me know if you guys can hear me in the comment section below, because I'm streaming multiple places online, and then I am going to be sharing this these conversations that I've got going on in Clubhouse. So I'm going to go ahead and get this room started. I'll ping a few people in here.
What's up, man?
Hey, Derek, how's it going?
Good. What about you?
It's going well. I had nothing else better to do on a Wednesday evening, so I figured I would go networking with other people, right? How's your Wednesday going?
There you go. Yeah, similar. Monday and Tuesday were pretty busy, but today was a little bit more easier on the calendar.
Yeah, for sure. Today has been mostly just calls for me. So I've been doing a lot of calls with current clients, potential clients. So that's been most of what I've been doing today. I was onboarding a few new businesses this week. So a lot of just information calls back and forth, download info.
It's always a good thing.
I'm going to be pinging a few people into the room. So just a few minutes. But hey, Aaron, great to see you here. I don't know if we've connected in some of the other rooms here. I've talked with so many other Aarons on here.
No, we have actually. We've connected a few times. I think Jonas is the one that connected us together.
Oh, yeah.
So he
awesome.
Pinged me, had me come in a room, and then you showed up right after, and then I talked to him the other day, and he mentioned your name. So it was pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, Jonas is an amazing guy. He's been really, leading so many awesome rooms. And that was kind of the thing that we talked about. We connected on early on with authenticity. That topic there was, and I'm sure you guys have seen it just being on Clubhouse for a short amount of time. Like personally, I like to hang out with the authentic people, rather than try to go into some of those bigger rooms that kind of seem like, people just trying to sell themselves. And I'd rather connect with people who, believe in adding value to other people, and that kind of thing. So that's just a lot about my philosophy.
Oh, for sure, man. I see a lot of people pitching others constantly, or just, hey, like, what are you doing? Or like, can I do this? Or how can you help me? Like, there's so much of that. It's just like, honestly, all I want to do is be in a room with these people, like a fly on the wall, and watch what they do. I don't want anything from them other than to learn from them. That's it. I don't want money. I don't want to pitch you. I just want an opportunity to learn from the best. You've done something good, and I want to figure out how.
Yeah, exactly right. So true. Well, that was one of the things like Jonas and I were talking about. It's, those kinds of topics, like you just mentioned, they come out naturally. Like all of us have things that we want to learn or like learn from other people and things that we want to improve on. So it's just something like authenticity, trust, and vulnerability are like some of the most important core, I guess, like principles, pillars to have, because when you think about it, and like for me, I've worked with a few billionaires, I've worked with multimillionaires, I've worked with people who have no money, but they have like amazing impact. And the commonality is those three things. They have authenticity, they build trust early on, they display trust, and then they're just vulnerable on how, they admit that they don't know something. But they're like, I don't know how to do it, but I can figure it out, or I know someone who does. So
absolutely, man. I'm gonna be ducking. I might be popping in and out here and there. I'm gonna come back. I plan to come back, but I got a couple things I got to do, and I might hop on a few calls for some stuff that I'm trying to. I got some things in the works.
Yeah, nice.
On the side, so
for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna be going for probably an hour, 2 hours, so not too long. But yeah, would love to see you come back.
Yeah. if you pop back in a room or you set this back up or anything like that later on tonight, please always ping me, man. I like the value. We have the same common interests.
Awesome.
I think Jonas will be happy now that I told him that I actually reached out to you and got in contact. He said to me, he's like, I think you two would really get along. You have the same personality.
Awesome. Well, we need to connect offline. I'd love to get to know you a little bit more and what's going on.
Each other already on IG. I'm not sure. This was like in our first days of nope, now I'm following you. I wasn't before, but I am now. And
nice.
the podcast is too. So.
Nice. Yeah, I'll check it out. Thanks for stopping in, Aaron. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. Have a good one, everybody.
You too. Hey, we've got another Derek in here. Derek Mullins. Am I saying that your last name right, Derek?
Yeah, it's Mullins.
Mullins. Okay, awesome. I don't think we've connected here on Clubhouse before. I'd love to hear a little bit more about you and what you've got going on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be pinging a few more people in here, Derek, too.
Oh, no worries. I don't even mind. I haven't been on the app in like a good 2 weeks. I remember I joined a few weeks back or a month back or whatever it was, and it was fun. It was like a novel experience, but then I forgot about it. But I got an hour to kill, so I figured I'd hop on and whatever, have a conversation with somebody. You happen to be in my hallway, so topic interested me.
For sure. Yeah, we were talking before you hopped in the room, actually, how some of the bigger rooms are like, they can kind of become an ego fest, and just talking about like, oh, I'm so great. And early on when I first joined Clubhouse, there were so many authentic people I connected to and connected with. They were just like, hey, we're about, helping people. Yeah, we would love to grow our businesses and, get more customers, get clients, but we want to give first. So that was kind of the whole process. So yeah, some similar to you, Derek, I was like, I'm sitting here at my desk. I was doing a little bit of work and I'm like, maybe I'll just start a room on Clubhouse and see what happens. So
Nice. What do you? I looked at your profile before, but what do you do specifically?
Yeah, so I've got a few different companies. Primarily, a lot of my day-to-day work is with my Catalyst brand group company. So we basically do Catalyst growth implementation. So a number of like digital marketing campaigns, implementations there, but more so focused on growth. So identifying growth opportunities for the businesses and then doing the implementation of that. So some of that might be, website, mobile app optimization, content marketing, sales ads, anything kind of pertaining to growth. I've got like a core team of experts, and then we have partners that we work with to like scale up or scale down as needed. So I kind of work with companies of all sizes, enterprise level down to, startup organizations. So, but most of the companies, are kind of in a situation where they want to grow. They just aren't really sure how to do it. So that's kind of what we do with Catalyst. And then a few other businesses. I work in the sports supplement space and e-com. So I've got a few labs. We work with the Mayweather fighters and Lockhart and Leith, the MMA trainers. And then I've got a SaaS company with a dashboard. We do sales, lead gen, digital marketing, and IT tech support for companies at an affordable rate, monthly rate. And then I've got a few other companies I'm working on now, kind of in the gardening space, and then like the LMS, so learning management system. So a few different things going on.
It's funny. We actually have a lot in common. I owned a legal marketing agency for the better part of 12 years.
Oh, nice.
So doing all that, lead gen, content generation, the works. But I got so sick and tired of like clients of middlemen and kind of just dealing with the everyday minutia. So I ended up selling that company, and I built over the past 2.5 years a new company based on the premise that everyone has a story about like a marketing agency that's kind of fucked them over. So I spend my time researching awesome marketing agencies and connect them with business owners. That's what I'm doing now.
Nice. So is it like kind of an online portal on a website, or is it like do you have a podcast that goes along with it? What does that kind of experience look like?
Yeah. ironically, it's all offline.
Oh, really?
but the Clubhouse is kind of perfect for it because there's so many marketers on there. I was thinking about that. No, so basically, like, if I find a marketing agency and I'm speaking with them, I'll be like, okay, yeah. I mean, I'd love to refer you some business. Can I speak with some past clients? You help them, make sure they're legit. Once I realize that, I have a list of thousands of people I've connected with over the years who are looking for marketers, or their friends are looking for marketers, and I'll set them up. And I usually work on a commission basis with the marketing agencies, so it's all free for the business owner.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I like that. It's somewhat similar with me because we'll work on we build the relationship and the trust with the business owners. And then there might be like a situation where it's outside of our core competencies or skills. And I just have, over the last 11, 12 years, built up relationships with people. I just, make that introduction in my network to them and do that kind of thing where it's like people I trust. Because in my experience, Derek, and it's probably the same for you, I'd say it's about like 1 out of 10 agencies in the marketing space are actually good, and help people.
Especially now, because it's a big pyramid scheme. All these coaching programs are out there teaching people to put themselves out there without actually having any experience.
Yep.
And then you'll worry about fulfillment later. So it's all crapshoot.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we've got Adriel here. I'll invite him up to speak. Hey, Ben, how's it going? I don't think we've connected before. I'd love to hear a little bit more about yourself and a little bit of what you've got going on.
Hey, guys. Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. But I'm currently working on a company called affiliatefinder.io. So at the moment, we are building a SaaS platform to help brands connect with better affiliates and just keeping a database of pretty much every affiliate marketer, what they're promoting, how much traffic they drive, and how to get in touch with them. So similar to what you've seen with a lot of the influencer databases, but nobody's really done it well with affiliate. So working on that, and then longer term, we sort of want to take that into partnerships more generally, and we're building a knowledge graph of basically every marketing relationship between every company that exists.
Nice. That's awesome. So how many affiliates in total do you guys have, like users so far?
So we don't actually have affiliates opt into the platform. So it's all just Stripe data that we're enriching and doing analytics on and then passing to the brands so they can go sort of figure out which affiliates they want to put time into building the relationships with. So I guess a bit different than a marketplace in that regard. It's mostly on the data end. But yeah, got like 80 brands that we've helped now over the last 8 months. So going well.
Nice. And are there like specific niches that you kind of focus in on, or is it just kind of everything?
Yeah, totally industry agnostic. So anybody with an affiliate program, usually our customers will go and say, hey, here are my top 5 competitors with an affiliate program, and here are 5 or so complementary products that have a lot of affiliates, and we'll sort of work backwards and say, okay, who's driving traffic to these companies, and how do we get you in touch with them?
Nice.
So it's more like a research program, like you're signing on and you're kind of spying on what your competition is doing. Yeah, pretty much. That's a good way to put it, and just figuring out who's driving traffic to them, like who their affiliates are. But I'm really excited about the long-term vision lately, just because I don't know. You guys seem like you're pretty in tune with the whole marketing landscape right now. I think that there's a lot of writing on the wall that PPC is going to get harder, that content's getting more and more saturated. And I think there are a lot of reasons partnerships are going to do well over the next 10 years. And I haven't seen anybody do great analytics on that. Like, there are all sorts of relationships, like people white labeling software, people reselling products, people co-marketing, people guest blogging that just don't seem like they're being tracked well. And so, love to start actually visualizing all of those partnerships. I want to check out doing, like, because I used to do a lot of affiliate. Is it in any way similar to something like What Runs Where or something like that? I don't actually know what runs where. What's that do? It's basically an affiliate spy program, so you could like log on, see what ads your competitors are running, in every place, what niches they're running to, so you can see like.
Oh, that's you. It's like, but it's like a PPC spy tool, so it's like looking at Google and like all the network ads and stuff.
It's paid social, Google, and like you see like, oh hey, they're running this specific ad for over a year to this specific landing page, so this must be working or something like that.
Yeah, it's like big spy stuff like that. Yeah, so I mean, we look at paid spend, so we look at the paid ads and stuff, and then we also do content, and then we're actually joining email lists at scale now and parsing them for tracked links to see who's promoting affiliate offers on their mailing lists. So we do a bit of that, but there's no SaaS, like there's no front end to it. I built the whole back end and haven't added a front end. And so we sort of work closer with the clients, and then we'll just pass the lists off manually.
Very cool, man. I want to check it out.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in checking it out. I've got a few different companies right now that I'm looking to build out, a whole affiliate program. So I think what you've got there would be right in line with what I'm looking for. So yeah, I mean, if you don't mind, Ben, I'd love for you to shoot me a DM on Instagram, because I'd love to check out the website and any other kind of info you have to see what it's like.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. I'm gonna hit you on Twitter. I deleted my Instagram, but I'm gonna shoot you a Twitter DM right now.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, wouldn't mind sending it on Twitter too.
Yeah, no, I'll hit you both up. Would love to see if there's any overlap.
Hey,
Adriel, how's it going, my friend?
Hey, Jason, how's it going? I was actually thinking about you earlier today. I was like, man, I haven't been on Clubhouse in like maybe a month or something.
I know, it's been a while. We were just talking. It was Aaron in here earlier, because Aaron first connected with Jonas too around the same time that we all connected, so it was interesting. But yeah, I'd love Adriel for you to kind of give a quick intro for Derek and Ben here in the room. Share a little bit about what you've got going on.
Sure, absolutely. So at this point in time, I've taken the last decade of photography and video experience and pivoted completely and totally towards the aviation industry. I've done everything from nightlife to weddings to construction to real estate to products and portraits and all that, and gained lessons in each and every one of those fields. But I have this dream and passion that I've been kind of holding off on of becoming a pilot. So I said, why not get into that conversation, into the networks, and it's already starting to unfold in a marvelous way. So we'll see what happens over the next several months. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I joined on Clubhouse, connected with great people like Jason, and I'm sure Derek, Ben. I'm not sure how we connect or how we'll be able to work together yet, but later on down the line, from people I've met months ago, it turns out that we had ways that we could work together. So this is a great place to just meet great people. So that's just what I'm doing right now. I'm actually in Ocala, Florida. So if you guys are in Florida, let me know. But that's it for right now, man. Just focus this. And I'm actually about to meet somebody right now who's an owner of a media company out here, and we're going to be doing a little bit of work together, and it just may come in handy for some of my projects coming up.
Nice. And I saw on your Instagram that you were taking photos in a plane the other day, photos or videos. So I was like, oh, I wish I could be doing that.
But maybe you can, sir. I make you some models. So if you come over here, I'll get to send a business jet, maybe a Bombardier Global Express or something, 14-passenger jet. We good to go.
Well, you need to come over to Flagler County. Flagler County in Florida it's one of the busiest private airports in the whole state. It's actually, I think, one of the busiest in the country. So it's Flagler Executive Airport. There's a whole bunch of people that use so Northeast Florida. It's like one of the busiest ones for professionals to kind of fly back and forth to their different destinations that they're doing. So yeah, pretty sweet.
I keep forgetting that you live in Florida, man. So I need to make this trip happen now that I'm a little bit more available. So let's plan that out. I'll get you up to
yeah, for sure. Well, we're thinking of doing like a mastermind, so people all over the country can come down to it. But like maybe Amelia Island or something in the Jacksonville Beach area would be a good spot. Just because, again, connecting with authentic people, learning from each other, and then like talking about, hey, how can we grow our businesses in each of our specific niches is something I'm super passionate about. Like I've helped, build Kevin Harrington's mastermind and Michael Hyatt's mastermind. And I'm like, I want to do it, with our group of people. I'm tired of kind of doing it for other people.
Not that this is a good reason to host a mastermind in a specific area, but if you did it in Delray Beach, I would just flat out come because my favorite steak restaurant in the world is there.
That's awesome.
What restaurant there called Cut 432, which is amazing.
Cut 432, you said?
Yeah, in Delray.
I'll have to check that out. That sounds really good.
If we do Miami, I've got a buddy. He owns the Bitcoin Mansion. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Bitcoin Mansion. But
yeah.
Awesome place, dude.
That's funny. How you know this guy?
Oh, I knew him, dude. I knew him when he was it's a crazy story. When he was homeless, living out of his car, he had everything stolen from him, and he was going through college to get his doctorates in Chinese traditional medicine, and he's such a great person. Just comes from such an incredibly challenging background. He just turned that whole story around and made it into this power play. And I just saw him just move and take advantage of opportunities and learn, from challenges. And now he's doing amazing things, as you say. But again, just I love connecting with great people, and I love to see those type of stories. And he's just doing a lot of. I don't know what else to say about this guy, but yeah, we connected through a company where we were actually doing some affiliate marketing or network marketing for a health company because he's all about health. So we met there, and then we just stayed in touch, and I provided some of my services to him. But at the end of the day, it was really more just I liked him as a person, so I just stuck around with him for a bit. But so
I feel like I heard about that through my friend Anna, who I think might have been by or something, because she's deep in the crypto space. You know Cello, the stablecoin?
I do not. See, he's way more into crypto than I am. I'm more. You can talk to me about cameras. I'll tell you everything.
Okay, got you. She co-founded a stablecoin called Cello. They were, they're doing really well now. I think it was slower to start, but they're up to like a $614 million market cap. So absolutely crushing it now. But she knows the craziest people who've gotten into crypto. I feel like will spend money on the craziest locations to live in and work in. Like, tell me about the Bitcoin Mansion, and then she had a group of friends that bought a decommissioned cargo vessel, and they were working on that for a while. Yeah, which is crazy. Like that's some shit out of a movie. But I think that whole space is hilarious. I was deep in it in 2017, but not so much now. Crypto people are just the most creative, man. I mean, they're pioneers in this thing, right? So they're kind of paving the way. So I'm excited. But thanks for sharing that. That's so cool. Yeah, dude, it's a hilarious space. I love it.
Are all of you guys in it? I've invested a little bit, but not crazy amounts. Like I wish I did now with what's been going on, but
I'm in a bit.
I missed the boat on that, man. Like I knew about crypto early, but I was a passive onlooker, and I wish I invested in that. So I'm not any expert or anything like that, but I follow. So his name is Juju Living. If you guys follow me on Instagram and just send me a message, I'll forward you his page. But he's always posting on his story, little predictions of what's coming up, and he's been on point so far with everything. So if I see him and he says it's about to go down, pull out, I pull out, and it goes down. He says, "Hey, it's warming up."
I used to run one of those. That's so funny.
Run one of what?
So I had a Telegram group in 2017 because I traded a bit, actively. I had been trading for a few years, but I found an arbitrage that was pretty consistent, just on some of the cryptocurrencies, and we exploited it for a year, and it grew a following around it on Telegram, and then I took the money we made and tried to do an ICO and failed miserably and lost most of it. And it was a wild ride, but that whole space was crazy. There were tons of those like signals providers and influencers like that on Telegram and on Twitter, and it was a super interesting space to be in.
Nice. I'm working with a few people right now actually to get a prototype with a blockchain to do like smart contracts. So instead of doing an actual or token or a coin, like actually transmission of content and data from recipient A to B. So we're working on kind of an MVP product for that right now. But I was like, man, it would be so. I've never talked with someone who's done like an ICO before. So
Yeah.
Ben, you're
Well,
like the
definitely
first
learned a
one.
lot about what not to do. So actually,
Well, that's usually how it starts, right? You learn what not to do first.
yeah, I can definitely give you some pointers there. But so, are you building out like, is this a full platform? Are you building your own blockchain, or is this like an ERC20 token? Like, how are the smart contracts working?
So we were probably going to use like Ethereum as the model for it, and then kind of build it from that. So we're not exactly sure. We're kind of just in the research data gathering stage right now. So nothing definitive. It's just like we have the dev team. We're like my team, the dev team's kind of just gathering as much as we can. Looking at what Vitalik Buterin has been talking about, like different use cases. So that's kind of the stage we're at. And then it's just testing from there. So don't really know what kind of platform it's going to look like. All we know is we really just kind of want a blockchain, and then we want the ability to, as securely as possible, transfer data from one person to another. Specifically like data from, well, like health insurance and medical information. So my background, Ben, before I actually got into doing marketing, digital marketing and tech right now, I actually was accepted into medical school and dental school. So like I'm very much familiar with the whole med space, and then the insurance space that goes along with it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's just horrible, like middleman like crazy, and it's a disaster. All of the insurance providers have different so we were kind of thinking of building a decentralized application, a blockchain, to try to make it HIPAA compliant, and then see what that would look like. So and then kind of just test it out. So
no, that's amazing. I've had a ton of conversations. That same friend Anna, who co-founded Cello, I've had a ton of conversations with her about adding a decentralized layer to insurance and medical. She always tells me that she wants to, if she had more time, she would be doing that, but she doesn't at the moment.
So, well, what the heck? Why don't we partner up?
Yeah, I'll see. She's a tough one to get a hold of at the moment, but I'm gonna actually talk to her later next week. So I'd love to see if this is something she'd want to do. But and I know Cello, I don't know if you guys are raising, but Cello I think is allocating like an absolute ton of money into blockchain projects right now. So if you guys could get talking, that might work. They just invested in my friend Will, who's building like a decentralized bank.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, if you can get it on another platform, like if you're gonna bootstrap, or if you're raising and you want to keep it cheap, like Ethereum, like the ERC20 tokens are amazing. I'm super bullish on Ethereum, and I think Vitalik is going to go down in history as one of the smartest people in our generation for sure.
Absolutely.
Wait, I'm curious. So you guys are really into this, and I know very little compared to every single person in this room.
No, we're on the same boat, bro. I'm just listening and taking notes.
At what point will like all this like crypto, blockchain, and all this actually go mainstream to the point where you can log on to an everyday website and actually use this currency?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, right now it's happening. Like, so I'm from Columbus. I'm from Columbus, Ohio, and most of the JP Morgan's dev teams, at least stateside, are based in Columbus. So I have a bunch of friends who are working on the blockchain development for them. So a lot of the back end on the transmission of finances back and forth to the end user, they're using blockchain now. So like it's definitely not. It's becoming mainstream from a lot of the big like enterprise. I think the big enterprise companies are just like slow at figuring out how they can even integrate it. They know that it's something that might be powerful, but they're like, it was Bitcoin before, and they were just really scared about it because it was a really tight, close-knit community, and it was something they couldn't control. And then finally they were like, oh, this is this is something that could be really valuable because it's, you know, a ledger that we've had all throughout history, but now we're doing it from, you know, people to people kind of thing. It's, yeah, it's definitely. Ben, what were you going to say?
I know very little about this, but I've read stories where, you know, governments were trying to seize people's money and they don't know somebody's, you know, password to their whatever their crypto account or their blockchain account, and they can't do it. So isn't that like a thing? Like governments are nervous about this because they can't actually control the flow of money. So wouldn't that be a hindrance?
Yeah, definitely. And that's kind of the reason why I like it. But, you know, it depends on, again, I think the platform's the thing. Like if Chase has their own blockchain and you opt in, decide to use that, you know, they'll probably create their own guidelines on what you'll need to follow. You know, any other platform can kind of create their own guidelines on what they want to follow. But yeah, I mean, that like other companies, if I have a few friends in Argentina, and, you know, with the whole volatile system of their financial system, blockchain and having a cryptocurrencies that were outside of the government were just like what people needed. So a bunch of people built the technology that was a solution there. So like payment processors, banking, and then cryptocurrencies were something that was really helpful there.
Makes sense.
Yeah, as far as the government goes, I mean, I think this part of the beauty of it is that, I mean, there are some more centralized projects now that the government could really like take a strong hand to regulate and take down. But I mean, they're for the most part decentralized systems, and so even if the government doesn't like it, that doesn't necessarily mean they have a way to combat it. Like Bitcoin, I mean, nobody owns Bitcoin, nobody runs Bitcoin, and it's not even about like their password to your Bitcoin account. It's like you'd actually need somebody's private keys to get their money, and I mean, there's no way to actually just get rid of Bitcoin because it exists like amongst every user's computer and phone that's a part of the network. So on the legal end, I think that's part of the beauty of it. And then as far as like when it becomes mainstream,
but for example, a guy like Bernie Madoff runs a Ponzi scheme, and now let's say in the future it's done off, you know, whatever, some currency that's decentralized and it's not government controlled, and now they want to get the money, you know, whatever, confiscate it, give it back to the people, whatever they do, you know, after someone like Bernie Madoff gets caught with a Ponzi scheme. So you're saying like a bank like Chase will have its own regulations where it could actually take the money back, so it's no longer decentralized in a sense?
Not if it's Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, if he does it with Bitcoin, no. Yeah. I mean, the answer is you need to find the private keys, and that's a lot harder of a problem. So yeah, I think that's a good criticism of Bitcoin as it is. But I'm not actually as bullish in the short term and the medium term on Bitcoin as a means of exchange. Like I think that the store of value case is the strongest in the short term, and I definitely expect to see more people using it like in the digital gold way. I think as far as like a fiat competitor goes, I think we're farther out from that than a lot of people in the space would anticipate.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that Bitcoin especially is, you know, a lot of people say it's a cryptocurrency, but in my opinion, it's a digital asset. Because as everyone knows, it's kind of fluctuating regularly up and down. And then you can manipulate the markets with it, as most of the central banking system has done in many years past. So, you know, that's, I think, kind of why Bitcoin Cash started. Ben, I don't know if you know that, but you know, I think that's kind of how that whole thing came about, where they wanted to have the asset and then a currency to try to kind of offset that. And then you use the currency to buy or exchange goods. So there's a value assigned to the digital asset. And that's kind of, you can transfer it back into the cryptocurrency, and then, you know, buy and sell different things with it. So.
Yeah, I got it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take over the conversation with my ignorance about this. I was just curious.
No, I mean, I love talking about it.
Yeah, so what's going on with your ICO though? I'm curious to hear what's going on there. Jason.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't even know if we'll end up doing that. So just being transparent with you guys, there was a big group of pretty well-known individuals in media that reached out to me, and they were like, hey, we've been deplatformed because they supported a particular individual in the last election, as you guys might know who that is. So they were like, what can we do with decentralized applications so that we can kind of limit this? They're like, we're not really bad people. It's just because we were literally associated with someone, we lost all of our server space. We're not able to collect donations. So that kind of is what sparked the conversation, Ben. So, and I've been wanting to be in the crypto space for like with my own application, the last like 6-7 years. I have a vision to do something that, is more on like giving individual data, like personal data in a digital wallet. So it's kind of like if you see what ID2020.org is doing, Microsoft, all those guys, I don't like them being the leaders on trying to have block because it's like very antithetical to who they are. Accenture and Microsoft, if you're familiar with them, they're all about monopolization and dominating everything. So, and controlling user data. So it's just really interesting that they have that involvement. And I think they're trying to do that to kind of take control of the new applications that are created. So I wanted to create one that, was all based on free. So, and talking with these people, we now have, the funding to kind of get something going. So I don't know. The part of the conversation was like, do we want to create our own token? Do we want to create our own coin? I definitely think it would be valuable to do, but it's just, I'd have to be all in to do that. Like that would have to be my single focus.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not ready to do that.
Well, to be honest, I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm not a blockchain dev, but it seems like cracking the decentralized media problem on Ethereum might be tricky at the moment. But anyway, I can be useful there. I'd love to, because I actually used when I was in this space in 2017. We had sort of failed with our ICO, but I told so many people if I could do anything, I would be working on decentralized media. And obviously, I sort of got into SaaS and MarTech after that. But I love that problem because it's funny, in a roundabout way, I'm like still working on a project that's sort of like anti-PPC. And that was one of the reasons that I was thinking about decentralized media. And now instead, I'm sort of coming from the partner marketing angle. But that's a problem I've thought a ton about, and I love it. So
yeah, absolutely. I'd love to talk with you more about it because I'm really, really interested in getting started in that space. And Ben, something to what you said earlier. Content marketing and then PPC. It works well if you know what you're doing. I don't know if you're familiar with Ryan Levesque from the Ask Method, but he is just a genius at dialing in, your market, understanding your market, what you need to know, and then more importantly, understanding your ideal client customer really, really well, and then based on that, creating all the marketing collateral. I've used it in so many, like one of the biggest projects I've done recently was the co-creating the Secrets of Closing a Sale Masterclass with Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank and then the Ziegler Corporation. And we used that same process. We used a whole bunch of affiliates. So like Russell Brunson and Ty Lopez and Onyx Singal and all those guys were affiliates. And that, in addition to the content, everything we were able to create to really dial in that core messaging system. So like Ryan's got like this way to dial it in where you bucket your content based on that ideal chat, like their ideal solution connected to their greatest challenges. So it's super effective. I mean, we did, 2.8 million in the first launch. So during launch week, we did that. We used Jeff Walker's product launch formula, the PLF structure. So I mean, it's still like a really good ROI if you can do it well. It's like balancing, between the authentic content, it grabs people's attention, and then it ranks, with technical SEO. And then of course, if you're doing the paid traffic behind it, you've got to have all of that optimized as well. So it's definitely not, in the past, you could just throw something together and get a little bit of traction, but yeah, it's definitely getting harder for sure.
If you proof that content marketing works, just look at what
Trump did, right? He won the entire presidency with
yeah, exactly right.
No, that's definitely a good point. And I'm not anti-PPC from the marketer's perspective. It's more like I think there are a lot of problems, like even social problems that are caused by that attention is
yeah, for sure.
bought and sold and commoditized.
Oh yeah. Well, so I don't. Have you guys? Have you seen that documentary? I can't remember what it's called. I think I saw it on Amazon Prime, but the guy that made that swipe down feature reload for Twitter, and that was the guy. All the other apps duplicated that, and he said that they decided to do it based on studying slot machines in Las Vegas. Like, how do you create something super addictive? And now he's an evangelist actually for anti kind of addictive like technology platforms. So yeah, I'm crazy. He's like, I wish I never would have built that.
No, I mean, there's whole teams at Facebook just hiring scientists to figure out like dark patterns and stuff like that. So definitely interesting.
But the thing is with content, once you key in on the correct audience, and I never heard of, I guess, Jason Walker before, but I'm sure this is something he preaches. The algorithm takes over because once you put something in front of the right audience and they share it, it just keeps coming and coming and coming.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I mean, the whole algorithm is really, really interesting on, like, I don't know if you guys do too much YouTube content, because I do a little bit of like personal stuff on, like, I love keyboards, computer keyboards. I have like 50 some keyboards, and I just review keyboards online, and like YouTube's algorithm is so weird on how you, like, some of the things that I have heavily optimized, they get a little bit of traffic, but not as much as I anticipated. And ones that I barely optimize, I just get up, it gets crazy traction. And then you look at the analytics and it's like, oh, someone on, this forum happened to stumble on it and they were like, hey, this guy Jason just shared this. So it's really interesting how and then because it was shared, YouTube is then showing it in the referred kind of video section. Interesting.
I'll give you a fun secret for YouTube. So I cut my teeth in the media buying world, but with YouTube specifically, so there's some obvious things, right? Like positive engagement where you're getting, comments and likes, the title obviously has to be on par, but the number one thing is percent of video watched. So if you literally start off, and I'm talking about your whole channel, not just one video. So like it wants to gauge, what percentage of users are watching what percent of your video. Mm-hmm. So if you start off posting a bunch of like shorter videos and you just have engagement where everyone's watching over 50% of the video, your future videos are going to rank higher.
Nice. I so appreciate that tip. Yeah, most of it, again, it's just like I did it because of, I enjoy it. So it's not necessarily like I'm trying to figure it out for growth. But yeah, I mean, some of the stuff.
Small business owners, so it's like important to get them ranking for the videos they want. So that was to start off with some BS like that is so irrelevant to their business, and it's just like, oh, here's a 10-second video. Who cares? Someone watched 5 seconds of it automatically. We'll post this matters later on.
That's awesome. Yeah, one of the things, and Derek, I don't know if you. I'd be curious to hear what your thoughts on this, but a lot of the content marketing I'm doing for clients is, we're optimizing video content on like their Google My Business and then listing content on just a YouTube channel, just because Google has been, giving preference to a lot of the video content. So I don't know if that's something you've seen on your end too.
Yeah, 100%. The more products you use, I mean, I'm not even talking from a technical side, so there are many different like things with Python and all this stuff that you need to do on your website, but the more actual Google products you use, likely or better you're going to do with like a local GMB and stuff like that. There are so many advanced classes you can take where you can kind of hack the code to ranking in maps and just the local business section.
Nice. Adro, we're talking about just like YouTube video growth. So I don't know if you do much video YouTube.
You want to hear a crazy black hat Google My Business story?
Yes, please.
So I know a guy. I've gotten into like a lot of the. I don't know. I don't do a lot of black hat stuff, but I've gotten into a lot of these like weird black hat marketing communities where they share like growth hack tips and stuff like that. But there's this one guy who I know who does a lot of like automation, and he basically built a bot that was just doing like hundreds of thousands of fake Google My Business placements and like fake businesses on Google Maps and whatnot, and just trying to get as much like search traffic to those businesses as they could. And then somehow they started selling the leads in mass to actual businesses in those areas. But it's just a math problem. Like if you have, 100,000 people in an area and there are only 3 plumbers and somebody adds 17 more, the amount of the like phone traffic that they got to them, and a horribly unethical way to do the marketing, but still an interesting like systems problem where
I'll give you a fun story directly related to what you're saying. So I'm forgetting the woman's name, but it was really smart and she experimented with this and it worked. So she bought, kind of like you're saying, there's only a certain number of people in the area, and Google cares like how many people are asking directions to a specific spot from a specific spot. So if you ever track a local GMB, you'll notice that if you're in one section of a neighborhood, one business shows up on top, and kind of a different business shows up on top. But if you want to hack that, so she bought 100 cell phones, and she drove with a GPS on, used direction from all those different spots to the actual business, and she was able to hack the system to the point where the business was showing up number one, no matter where you were within a specific geo.
That's super interesting. I've seen YouTube videos where people do that and they like divert traffic, because like I saw somebody just fill up a wheelbarrow full of cell phones and they would drag it so slowly across the street that Google was convinced that there was too much traffic on there to send anybody on Google Maps. And like the street totally cleared out, but I never thought about the SEO.
And the other is manipulating click-through rate. So, for example, if you're a local plumber and it's really hard to rank, there's like 100 different plumbers in one area. So Google cares about, if somebody searches something, how many times do they actually click on it, because that means it's relevant. So there are people who build initially it started off as people building kind of bots and machines would go to Google, they would search a specific thing like plumber in this area, and then they would click on the appropriate business. But Google caught on to that, so people had to actually stop using machine learning, and now there are people who have the ability to kind of manipulate IP addresses from real phones and kind of
That's super interesting. I've got a bot going right now that'll have it has 500 threads. Like we just do a bunch of headless browsers to pull SERP results, but we're using it right now to find contact forms and do contact form submissions instead of cold email, just because the scale is incredible. But never thought about doing like anything like that with click-through rates. That's incredible.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's big business, though. Like, each one of these local businesses gets hundreds, if not thousands of dollars per client. So they're, the marketing company who's able to do this for them is able to get big bucks.
You want to hear some funny stuff we're doing with the contact forms right now?
Yeah.
We found a way to pull, so far we're up to 1.5 million contact forms, but I think we're going to be able to get it up to about 100 million contact forms that we're pulling out of the search results, just because we have so many headless browsers doing it and so many keywords that we're pulling. But we're actually, because we're brokering so many joint ventures and partnerships, we're just sending them like a super generic message saying, hey, we're brokering all these partnerships, we're connecting affiliates to brands, we're connecting to brands to do co-marketing. If you sign this type form and do the email opt-in, we'll send you like partnership suggestions to your inbox. But we're sending it at such a scale that we're getting 0.5% like opt-in to the email list. And then we're just like segmenting the lists based on how much traffic people have and how much what like keywords their business is, like what industries they are, and then just connecting people at scale to do co-marketing. So,
that is intense. How much
right?
That's sweet.
To send these emails?
No. That's the point. It's free. Like that's how we built it. Like that's why we do the contact forms instead of emails. Because it actually helps us warm our emails for cold outbound, because to Google it looks like inbound because it goes to the contact form first and then they reply to our inbox.
Oh, I get it. You're going to people's sites and submitting the form.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we have, the bot that does it, and then we have CAPTCHA solvers that make us look human. But yeah, that's really the idea.
Do you let people hire you to do that?
I hadn't thought about it until I had two people. I just started sharing this publicly today, and I had two other people ask that. So I think I'm going to, because it's a good tool. So yeah,
yes, for sure.
Yeah, everybody seems to like that. I go and I pitch like we're building a knowledge graph of every partnership ever, and people are like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." And then I tell them we could do millions of contact forms, and they're like, "Yes, sign me up for that one."
I'm forgetting the name of the solver I used to use because I haven't done SEO, in like true SEO in 6, 7, 8 years. But I used to use a service called GSA Search Engine Ranker. It basically helped you build links at scale by spamming, different sites or whatnot. Yep. But they had CAPTCHA solvers there. It sounds like you're doing this at a much more advanced rate.
Probably not by a ton. I mean, it's just like. It's just running lots of those pretty much. It's the same system as what I would assume GSA uses. We're just doing probably more threads. But, yeah.
You gotta use proxies for that, though.
Yeah. So we scrape a lot of public proxies, and then I just buy, like, rotating proxies. And then we have some, like, dedicated residential proxies we use for social media stuff.
That's intense, man. You're doing some fun stuff.
Yeah, I love this end of marketing. It's funny. It's because I hate spending money on marketing, which makes me like go into like way too much depth into creative ways to not have to just buy paid traffic when I could just 100% buy paid traffic. But you learn interesting stuff when you're like that.
Yeah, and not only that, but even just having this conversation, you can see that you're doing could be repurposed for profitable use.
Definitely. Jason,
Sure.
I tried to DM you, so if you want to try this and if you want to talk about the ICO, because I'm gonna have to hop in a minute. But
yeah, I've got to hop off here too.
Your DMs are closed on Twitter.
Okay.
So if you wanna pull my Twitter, or just give me an email or something. I think that's the way to go.
All right.
Actually it was nice talking.
Yeah. Hey, I've got to hop off too here, guys. But yeah, let's definitely stay connected. Derek, I'd love to talk with you more too. Real quick, I'm looking at building lead gen processes for specific niches and basically generating all those leads and then selling them to small businesses in geographic areas that we kind of target. So, if that's of interest to you guys, and that, Ben, what you were just mentioning there, is kind of why I was asking, because that's something we could do at volume. So
I'd love to help with that.
Awesome. Well, yeah, let's definitely talk online, guys. Ben, I'll send you a quick message here.
Perfect. Yeah, no, it's fun to have a chat, and we'd love to help.
Awesome. Sounds great. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the room here in like a few minutes, but I want to send that DM to you, Ben. And Derek, I'll send one to you too.
No worries.
Derek, I requested a follow for you on he hopped off. I was going to say I requested a follow on Instagram. Oh well.
Everybody forgets that their DMs are blocked on these platforms, and then people you can't get in touch with them.
Okay, I just followed you. I don't know if that'll work.
Do you have an email I could send to you? Like I got that could work too.
Okay, I just sent you a message on Twitter. So
that works.
Let me know if that gets it. If you get it. I wonder why I can't receive it. Maybe I need to be.
There we go. I got you on Twitter. Easy.
Okay. Sweet. All right. Yeah, let's keep the conversation going in there, Ben. Appreciate your time, man. That was great to connect with you. Again, that's why I love these like small rooms. You just get to spend quality time with awesome people.
No, it's so much better. And then the big rooms end up just being self-promotion and spam. So I like
But, for sure. Yeah, well, you've got a lot of amazing stuff going on. So definitely, would love to talk more about it and see if there's ways we could work together.
No, likewise. I think it'll be an interesting conversation for sure. So looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you, Ben. Talk soon.